Hey, what's good, YouTube? It is your boy Fourth and Goal, better known as Rick B, man. We are back again with another video, man. And in today's video, I'm going to bring up 6 players who I genuinely believe can have some breakout seasons, man. And all 6 of these players I'm really excited about. Some of these guys are new positions or new teams, I should say, and they have new roles, and I think they can flourish in these roles. And before we get started, though, I just want to make a disclaimer. These are not players who I believe that can be top 10 in their position, top 5, Pro Bowl or snub or things like that. These are just guys who I genuinely believe can have a coming out party and put the league on notice and really flourish in their role. And no, these are not guys who are again top 5 in their position, top 10, number 1 corner or main corner or whatever. You know what I mean. Okay, these are guys who are just really good NFL players who I think are going to put the league on notice. So with that being said, let's get straight into the video. Now, the first player we got to talk about is a rookie corner last year from the University of Mississippi State. No, it is not Sauce Gardner. No, it is not Derek Stingley. No. It is Martin Emerson for the Cleveland Browns, man. He showed a lot of progression and a lot of growth last season, and I want to highlight that because early on in the season, first of all, he did not get a lot of playing time, and when he did not look all that great. As you can see right here in Week 2 versus the New York Jets, he gave up 2 major plays that resulted in touchdowns. The first one it didn't. It just got close to the goal line, but the second play when he lined up versus Garrett Wilson, he did not use his hands to get physical. You're on an island one-on-one, and Garrett Wilson just flat out just beat him on the route, and it was a fade route. Boom, touchdown, drop in the basket. But throughout the season, he actually became more and more on the field with the Browns and really as the number 2 corner. And I think his best game came versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, versus one of the best receivers, versus the best quarterback in the world, well, of all time, really, and Tom Brady and Mike Evans. And he had about 10 targets and only like 2 or 3 receptions, you can see on the screen. So bro was balling out. Like, dude went crazy, did not give up a touchdown. And I think throughout the second half of the season, he didn't really give up any touchdowns. He had like 2 or 3 games. He had 10 targets, but the one versus the Buccaneers, he showed a lot of growth and a lot of maturity in the defense, and he became one of the best man coverage corners statistically on ProFootballFocus.com. Dude was just balling out, and I think in year 2, I think he can take another step towards his progression and even possibly being the number 1 corner if he outshines and outplays and Denzel Ward. Now, that is my prediction for Martin Emerson. A really good corner. I think it's too early to really put a label on him to say, hey, this is his ceiling, just a number 2 corner, a slot corner. I think he can be a number 1 corner. I'm not going to say he's going to be an all-pro, Pro Bowl, Jalen Ramsey. No, I think he can be a solid number 1 corner in the NFL. Now, my next player we got to talk about is a Super Bowl winner on the 2021 LA Rams. Man, he was actually a weak side linebacker for him after Bobby Wagner got there. It is Ernest Jones, man. Now, Ernest Jones, again, he was a rookie in 2021. He won the Super Bowl coming out of South Carolina. I believe he was a 3rd round or 4th round pick. Yeah, 3rd round pick, sorry, for the Rams. And in his first year, and he didn't play every game. He didn't start every game either. He had about 61 total tackles with a sack. He did his thing, man, and also 2 interceptions. But in 2022, he actually he showed a lot of progression, and he had a total of 114 tackles. Now, again, Bobby Wagner, he was like the main middle linebacker. He was the main storyline. You obviously had Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald, obviously. You didn't really get a lot of love or a lot of things from Ernest Jones, and he was one of the better zone coverage linebackers. No, I'm sorry. He was one of the better run defense linebackers and one of the better tackling linebackers, according to Pro Football Focus. Now, tackling, again, he had over 100 tackles, right? Bro was in every play trying to get, bring guys doon. But I guess this grade just means that, missed tackles and, didn't really let guys go. Really solid at wrapping guys up, I guess. But run defense, Bobby Wagner, he was actually, number 1 in the whole NFL, but he was like 14, 15. Ernest Jones was, and I think that duo, it really did help the Rams' run defense not completely fall apart, because the Rams' run defense was not all that good last year. they gave up numerous 100-yard carry ball carriers, and they just didn't look that good. But I think the main reason why he did not get a lot of recognition last year was, first off, the Rams they was fresh off the Super Bowl run. Like, they just won a Super Bowl, and on top of that, you have Aaron Donald on the defense with Jalen Ramsey. They're top in their positions, obviously, and then you added in Bobby Wagner, a veteran leadership, a guy that who has a lot of heart and soul, and does your job better. They pretty much play like the same position, interior linebacker, and do the same thing. Guys who can get high 100. Bobby Wagner can, and high 100 tackling seasons. Whereas Ernest Jones, he's not a really proven guy. And on top of that, like the Rams, this plays a little bit of a factor. The Rams don't have a first round pick, so first round picks are always hyped up to be these god figures or whatever, like these guys who come in and immediately change your locker room. Third round picks, fourth round picks, they don't really get a lot of love and recognition. So I think that plays a little bit of a factor. But I think the main question for Ernest Jones about his breakout season is, can he do it without Bobby Wagner being there? In terms of holding it down in the interior position, I think he can. I think he can be a solid linebacker in the NFL. No, not Fred Warner. No, not Demario Davis, C.J. Mosley, Shaq Leonard, but more of a Foyside, Olakun, more of that tier, tier 2 guys who can make that tier 1 jump, but they're just tier 2 players. Really, just like a media thing. How much will the Rams get covered so that we can see how great he is. All right, man. So our next player is our first offensive player, and now, yes, I do got this 3 and 3, 3 offensive and 3 defensive, so that's 6 total players. But he is a running back, and I know I was sort of bashing running backs, but I think he can take another step forward in his career for the New England Patriots. Rhamondre Stevenson, sorry, hopefully I said his first name correctly, man. He is balling out in New England, and I think it's very safe to say that he does not get a lot of recognition for what he's doing out there. Bro had 1,000 yards, rushing yards, and about 400 receiving yards. About 1,400 total yards. He had about 6 total touchdowns, which, I know is not too crazy. I think his main issue is his fumbling. He had about 4 fumbles, but when you get the ball so much, you're bound to, mess up every now and then. But he had 69, the goal number, by the way, 69 receptions. 69 receptions out the backfield. Bro was touching the ball. He had 279 touches. And the crazy part is, you don't hear about this guy. When you think about the Patriots, we still get this Bill Belichick, can he win without Tom Brady? And you hear about Mac Jones, the Tom Brady replacer. You don't really hear about the actual Patriots and what they're doing out there. And I think Stevenson is a guy that just gets easily forgotten, and I think he can take another step forward. Really young, right? He's only 25 now, going to his 3rd season. His 3rd season, by the way. Not his 4th, not his 5th, not his 6th, his 3rd season. And again, with running backs, the fresher the legs, the better, the more production that you're going to get. Again, the fresher the legs, the more production that you're going to get, because they play a brutal position. And, that was just short and sweet, but I just think that Stevenson, he can make a big jump, and hopefully he does put the league on notice. And since we're on running backs, I might as well just talk about my second player. He is a running back. He is a NFC East divisional rival. I talked about him in my NFC East video and my running back video. And Tony Pollard, man. Tony Pollard, I'm super excited for him to have this number 1 role, running back role, assuming that he doesn't get hurt during training camp or early on in the season. I think he can be the answer for the Cowboys' offense. Well, not the answer, because ultimately Dak has to play really well. But I do think that Tony Pollard can make a jump as the number 1 running back. Not having Zeke, not having the whole politics between give Zeke the ball because he's just Zeke. No, it's Tony Pollard now. Jones, I forgot his name. I'm sorry. Jones has got hurt. I think he's out for a long time, or the whole season or something like that. And they don't really have any other running backs like that are really that good. So I think Tony Pollard, this is his role basically. Tony Pollard versus the world, and I'm excited to see that. He is a versatile running back, and so is Stevenson. I got to bring that up. He's a versatile running back, that can catch balls out of the backfield, and he's a powerful running back, when he's lining up versus DBs and stuff like that. I just think he's too fast for linebackers, but he's too strong for DBs, for a lot of DBs. And Tony Pollard, man, I'm just super excited for him. Hopefully he makes a Pro Bowl. And I mean, I'm not saying again he's gonna be an All-Pro, but I think he is a top running back in the NFC, just off his pure potential. Now it's just a matter of how does Dallas uses it, and can he stay healthy. All right, so the next guy we got to talk about, man, he's actually from my home city. I remember seeing him in high school a couple times. He was highly ranked or whatever. He went to the Ohio State University, and that is Pete Werner for the New Orleans Saints. Hope to God I said his last name correctly, but man, Pete Werner, man, he was phenomenal last year before he got hurt, and even after he got hurt, he did look good. But before he got hurt, dude was balling out, and you can ask some Saints fans. He was the best linebacker on the team, and probably the best defender on the team at times during the season before he got hurt. And I think that's the biggest thing for him. Can he stay healthy on the field? The downfall is he plays linebacker, one of the most physical positions in sports. Linebacker, running back, and lineman. Those are like three of the most brutal positions, and guys will get hurt, unfortunately. But I just think if injuries did not exist, he would be like top tier linebacker right now. Okay, now this is probably the only guy that I'm going to say like he can push for a top 10 linebacker if he stays healthy, because dude is phenomenal. Like he forced a lot of fumbles last year, about 3 or 4. Again, like he's getting his nose in every play. Like bro wants to go make a tackle, and bro's balling out. It's just, can he stay healthy? That's the biggest thing. If he stays healthy, he's breaking out for a top 10 season. I'm calling it right now, top 10 season. And alright, the very last player, it is a wide receiver, again, 3-3. He's actually a newly acquired Eagle. And no, it's not DeAndre Swift, by the way. It is Olamide Zaccheaus, hopefully I say his last name, from the Atlanta Falcons. He's an Eagle now. The main attraction of why we got him is for his speed. And yes, we do have Quez Watkins, we have Kenny Gainwell. Those guys are speed burners as well. But I think we want a more polished receiver than Quez Watkins, if that makes sense. And I think if he is a polished receiver in our offense, deep route and things like that, I think he can have a breakout season. Again, not a top 10 receiver, not a Pro Bowl, not a All-Pro, anything like that. Just a coming out party and saying, yo, I'm here. Like, I can be a solid speed burner. Like I can be a polished speed receiver. Like, like the Eagles, not Eagles, but the Falcons used me incorrectly, and now the Eagles are doing this. I think that can be a possibility. It's just, how good can he be? Because in Atlanta, I mean, he was alright, nothing too special. But I think that's just the biggest thing. Can he be that speed receiver that we're looking for? That's actually polished. Because D. Smitty and AJ Brown, like, they can do whatever on the field, right? But I think we need a guy who can drag safeties, a guy that who can take the top off the defense, a guy who can just outrun any and everybody in a mama. I think that's what we really need for our offense, and hopefully he is that guy. But with all that being said, man, that's going to wrap it up for this video, man. These are my 6 guys that I believe who can have breakout seasons in the NFL for 2023. If you like the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, man. More YouTube content is on the way. Preseason is about to start like next week or this week. I'm super excited, man. But I'm out, man. Peace.